Okay, let's get started. First, you need to print out all the printables that I have for you, and then we're going to laminate them if you have a laminator. And we're going to do the Christmas tree first. So once I've laminated it, I'm going to go ahead and cut it up. Wow, I wish I could work this fast. I'd get so much more accomplished. So once you've cut everything out, you're going to go ahead and spread them out so you can see what they all say. And then you're going to take the little cheat sheet I gave you, and you're going to follow each one that's listed. And this is so that when you turn the blocks around, they're all going the right direction. If you don't care about that, then you could just Mod Podge one color on each block. Otherwise, go ahead and follow my sheet. Now next, I'm going to show you what to do with the block. So first we need to sand all the edges. You don't need to sand the corners. And then we're going to take a brush and some Mod Podge. I just use matte Mod Podge or satin. And we're going to Mod Podge the block and attach the squares onto each side. Now I love to laminate because otherwise if I don't laminate and I Mod Podge on top of ink onto a paper that comes from a printer, the ink will smear. And so the lamination prevents the smearing. So I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge each square on all sides. Now make sure the first four are all going the same way, and then the top and the bottom, it doesn't matter which way they go, they just need to make sure they're going the same way too, so that when you turn them around, it all fits. You're going to Mod Podge all the way on top of all of that. Once it dries, go ahead and Mod Podge the top. And that's how you make the squares. And you're going to do that 9 more times. Okay, next we're going to make the Christmas box. Now once you have printed out the box, go ahead and laminate it. If you could print it borderless, that would be great. And then you also want to laminate a plain white piece of paper. Now we're going to use a ruler and a scissor to score the edges. And I'm just measuring my ruler all the way to the edge of the laminating paper. If you have a scoring tool, you can use that too, but otherwise the scissor edge works just fine. Once we folded it, we're going to go ahead and cut the edges and then staple it together. I just put 2 staples on each corner to hold it in place. And that's really an easy way to make a box. And then go ahead and press the sides so that it can become more stiff. Now the bottom part, which is just with white cardstock paper, you're going to take it in just a hair, like a very small amount. You're going to just push that ruler in just a hair, and then go ahead and do the same thing you did to the top. That way it will fit over it. And there's your box. Okay, now we're going to make the ribbon, the tag, and the little Christmas card for the box. And go ahead and just cut those out. You can laminate them if you choose, otherwise you don't need to. And we're going to tie the ribbon around with either hot glue, or you can use tape to hold it in place. And go ahead and do the same thing to the tag on top. And that's how you make the box. Next, I'm going to show you how to make the Christmas stocking. Now this is really easy and the kids love to make this. You can go ahead and just pick one of the designs. Make sure you have an extra blank cardstock and you're cutting 2 pages at the same time. So cut those out with scissors. And then you're going to use a hole puncher and go ahead and follow the sew lines all the way around. And then grab some yarn. I chose to use white. And I'm going to go from the bottom up and thread all the way around. And once I get to the top of the other side, I'm going to go ahead and just double knot it on the back and trim that edge. And there's your stocking. Now you can add pencils, we added the candy cane, you can put anything you want in there, just something small. Next we have the journal. And this needs to be printed out, just like everything else, and then go ahead and cut it all up. You can either just cut it down the middle or trim it like I'm doing right here. I'm taking off all the white borders. And then cut it down the middle. And once you do that, you need to hole punch the top left corner. So I'm going to use my top cover as my guide for all the rest of the pieces. So I'm going to hole punch all of the pieces and then put them back into order and use a small metal ring to hold it all together. Now to embellish the ring, I just got some ribbon, cut them up, and just tied a double knot with a bunch of different kind of material styles for that ribbon, and the journal's done. Now here is the box and everything going inside of it. Really really easy, fits really nice and tight, and that's pretty much how you make the Christmas in a box.